Yo, what up everyone? Mike Hill, the Wholesaling Titan here. And in today's very short video, I want to show you how to go about setting your income goal for wholesaling real estate and how to achieve that goal. So when students come into my program, one of the first things we do is talk about goal setting. And one of those goals is obviously income. And we have different levels, timelines, but for the sake of today's video, we're talking about your 12-month income goal. Now, almost without fail, I'd say about 95% of the time, everyone tells me their 12-month goal is $100,000, that six-figure mark. And so it's not necessarily a bad thing. I'm not hating. It's definitely a respectable milestone, but kind of arbitrary. And so what I want to show you today is how to reverse engineer the results that you want in a way that kind of makes sense. And so we're going to be covering this and many exercises at my upcoming 3-day live virtual wholesaling bootcamp. I really hope you can be a part of it. We'll talk more about it later. But this is one of the exercises that we're going to be doing. Again, a lot of one-on-one interaction. It's going to be a very intimate setting, and you can, I guess, consider this kind of a preview. So we're looking here. This is an action plan that everyone's going to get access to that attends the 3-day live. You'll also have access to Wholesaling with Mike University, which I'm completely redoing. Very excited about this, if you can tell. And so what we're doing here is we're, again, reverse engineering this whole thing. So if you look here in these yellow cells we have here, just a sample, and this is going to be your living expenses, your needs, right? So it's going to be like your rent, your car payment, car insurance, gym, internet, cable, all that stuff, right? And then that's going to be tallied and totaled up here. Now there's some assumptions built into this particular example. Obviously this can change, and you can change this because I know I'm gonna probably get some shit in the comments or whatever, but bear with me, okay? So the needs is based on a personal budget where that makes up 50% of your personal budget, and then we have your wants set at 30%, savings at 10%, and then paying down debt at another 10%. And then it's also based on the assumption that your profit, 50% of that should be your personal income, which then drips down to here, so you're moving in reverse, and the other 50% it goes back to your business, right? Those are your business expenses, and then that's how we get to this number here, 16,200. And we take out money for the tax man, and that's how we get to our monthly target. So the monthly target here is going to be $27,000. So moving right along to another tab on the action plan, it basically says, all right, if my goal is $27,000 per month, that means times 12, the total is going to be $324,000. So if we assume an average wholesale profit of $15,000, that means you need to complete 1.8 deals per month. How many offers equal one deal? About 90. And so for the rest of the year, you need to make 162 offers per week. So you see, when we already start off in a more methodical fashion, now these numbers, not only do you have a clear goal, but they're starting to make sense. And so that's something I think is very important. We're going to be doing a lot of exercises similar to this. Another one is to look at your budget, how much money you have available now, to determine what is your marketing budget. Now, for some of you, it's going to be zero, and that's fine. What that means is that there are only a couple strategies that you should be focusing on. Then when you can spend $100 a month, there's a different strategy. $200 a month, you can incorporate some other stuff, $1,000 a month, so on and so forth. And the idea is to go in this linear fashion, because if you're just trying too much stuff, or you jump into a strategy that requires significant either volume, scale, or money too soon, you spread yourself too thin, you won't see results, and then you're going to end up quitting. So as another example of that, let's say you got to the point where you decide it's appropriate for you in your situation to do, let's say, some direct mail. And it's another thing I'll be talking to you about in a 3-day presentation, or not just presentation, because again, it's going to be very much interactive, is that is choosing the right strategy for you. That's something that's very important. So let's just say, for example, you're going to do some direct mail. So we come back to our action plan. We look at our direct mail calculator. And this is why it's so important to know and operate, to know your metrics and operate with data. So here we're looking at, okay, we want to send some postcards. And again, different assumptions built into the sheet, but it's customizable stuff. So you can look at different response rates, for example. Here I have it set to a very, what's the word I'm looking for? Conservative, average, optimistic, and right now you can see it's at 0.5% response rate. Decent response rate, that's half of 1%. And so we see here, if I want to do one deal, we'll come here, how many postcards I need to send, and this is based on a specific data set. Again, you can change this stuff up, but this is the data set that I'm using here. and you can see to do one deal, I'd need to spend about $1,700, right? And so again, there are times where you can get lucky, right? When I first started, I did a mail campaign. I think I spent about $200, and obviously I wasn't outsourcing this. I was printing it and stuffing it and licking and stamping all that stuff. But I did just get lucky. But if you want to make this predictable and replicatable, then you want to know where your metrics are, and these are the numbers that you really want to focus on. The reason this is important is obviously, not just have the plan and vision, but even as much as I dislike the word motivation. An analogy I'd make is, imagine you are swimming in the ocean and you can't see land anywhere. You're much more likely to tire out and drown than, say, if you could see at least land, even if it was a nautical mile away. You'd have a much better chance of getting there because you could kind of see the end in sight. That's why, I'm not a runner, but I've heard that, if someone's running a marathon or ultra marathon, what have you, that last mile, when they can see the finish line or wherever that is, whenever they can see the finish line, they tend to be a little bit faster in a lot of cases than, let's say, the previous 5 miles or something like that. So that's, again, you really want to know this stuff. Let's say, for example, you had $2,000 that you wanted to dedicate to direct mail, and you spent $1,500, and you said, man, this shit is just not working, man. I'm going to just cut my losses. Well, knowing this information, you would know that essentially, well, had I spent $200 more, now I'd have an extra $13,000 net profit in my pocket. It's like that meme where, the person's like digging for gold or diamonds, whatever, and they stop just short. So this is just like a sample. We're going to be doing a lot of exercises on this 3-day live conference that I'm inviting you all to. There's going to be a link in the description. The website is wholesalingwithmike.info/live for more information. Thank you to everyone who submitted your questions. You guys have been hitting me up in DMs and on Facebook. I really appreciate it. There's a survey. I'll put that link too. So if you want to send me your questions in advance, obviously we'll be doing live Q&A, but if there's some things I can add beforehand, I'm happy to do that. Again, it's going to be unlike anything I've done and probably unlike anything you've seen, just because, guys, I'll be the first to tell you, there are other people teaching this stuff you can learn elsewhere. There are other conferences, people with more experience, things like that. But this is not going to be a setting where, you got a bunch of people up on a stage and they're just like spitting information at you, right? This is, like I said, I'm keeping it small enough, intimate enough where I'll be able to respond to all of your questions. Where in the middle of my presentation, you say, Mike, I don't get that. I say, okay, let's go back. Let's make sure that this works for you. And I think that's where the real beauty of this thing is going to come in. Also, in terms of knowledge base, obviously you need the knowledge. But another analogy I like to make is, the concept of losing weight. Everyone knows how to do it, right? Consume less calories than you burn, cut out your processed foods, eat some healthy shit, go to the gym, right? And yet, so many people fail at it because there's more to just the knowledge. The knowledge is important. Yes, I will show you the lead strategies, the techniques. We'll screen share. We'll look at case studies. We'll do all that stuff. You need that. It's foundational. But there are other things there. You need the accountability. You need the mindset. You need the not just strategies, but the routines and the habits and the when and the how often. And again, back to even stuff like your subconscious mind. How do you organize? What does your day look like? All these different things that need to work in synergy. They need to integrate with just the knowledge. So it's not just the knowledge, but it is the implementation. So again, I'm super, super pumped about this, and I really want to encourage you to probably within the next day or two, stay tuned to the channel. If you're not subscribed, please do subscribe, because I'm going to be showing you what I've got so far. It's a really, really detailed outline, so you'll see everything that we're going to be covering, and it's a lot of information. I'm probably going to be talking for about 8 hours a day, just me, for 3 days. So I'll be talking for like 24 hours straight, and some of you won't either want to hear me or, you can't make the whole thing. That's all good, because you're going to get a recording of the whole thing, as well as all of Wholesaling with Mike University. So within there's going to be PDFs, it's going to be spreadsheets, it's going to be this action plan, there's going to be tools, it's going to be contracts and forms and addenda and marketing materials and everything you need to be successful at this. And again, we're going to take a very different approach in a lot of ways. Like, this is just a tip of the iceberg preview of how I believe in being data-driven and very, very methodical in the things that you're doing. So thank you for watching this video. Hope you got some value, and please do stay tuned for the channel and check out that video where I show you what we're going to be covering on this 3-day live virtual wholesaling event. I really, really hope to see you guys there. All right, catch you in the next video. Hope you enjoyed, and I'm out of here. Peace, folks.